Welcome back, coaster enthusiasts, homies, friends, brothers and sisters, to the high
Welcome back.
rollers. Ah,
Episode
man.
8?
Yeah, episode 8. We're already 2 more away until
Episode
10.
8.
It's kind of like I'm saying. It's pretty well. Like, if it was weekly, we'd already be there. But even then,
We're getting there.
uh, speaking of getting there, just beginning of the cast. From a week from now, RC will not be here, but he will be
God,
in
I think
Cali.
it's 9 days.
Yeah,
I think
it's
yeah. Oh
already
my
here.
gosh. Hard to believe, honestly. I still
Yep.
cannot believe this is happening.
We got a whole bunch of news too. So, because we'll cover the before of that, where obviously next cast will be RC covering his whole trip in Cali and everything he goes there. We
All the
might have a
reviews.
potential guest. I will be having. I'll probably be getting extremely high for that cast just to cover the FOMO.
Well, man. You and me both.
Cause like, this is the biggest stumble yet. We already covered that last time, but like, just the amount of homie vibes that will be there. I'm so
Was it
jealous.
last cast? Was it kind of confirmed that X2 had that been confirmed yet? Because now we're kind of confirmed that X2 is going to be open.
So
every day
yeah,
on the
our
19th.
last cast we didn't confirm it, but the Drunk Riders
Yeah.
this past their past cast ended up confirming it, and obviously it's been in the Buzz Bars Cord.
Yeah.
So
I
just
definitely.
wow.
The next one it looks like is other than Hollywood Nights, Stumbles of Fun at Worlds of Fun in June. So
That lines up with the Midwest trip we're trying to
I
take. too,
definitely like to do that one.
man. I mean, will Zambezi be open by then too?
I believe so. I think I saw construction pictures on that at some point.
Yeah,
Let me see. I
because
feel like I remember.
I guess we can cover construction a little bit because there's not really much construction wise in the news, but
Worlds of Fun posted the construction photos. I just sent it to you.
because like just thinking of all the I actually remember seeing this. Like it
All
is
the
low to the
footers,
ground.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that's gonna be super fun.
Like I think
That's my style right there.
it's gonna be a sleeper hit of 2023. I'm letting everyone know that. Like everyone's talking about Wildcats Revenge, Area Force One. I get it. I do get it. But ever since I saw this layout, and just like, it's just so sleeper to me. Like I think this could really be it. Like this could be, maybe not bring in people from everywhere to come to Worlds of Fun, obviously, but just one of those rides that you're like, damn, why is no one talking about this?
I could not agree more. I mean, it's going to be our first, experience with GCI Titan Track as well, right?
Well, a little bit. So it's
Well,
gonna
like
only
a full
be
lay.
it's only gonna be on the spiral lift, which
Oh, that's
apparently
right.
yeah,
Right.
apparently they said it's because of that's the only way they could have done the spiral lift was with the Titan track, which is interesting to think about. But
For some reason, I was not remembering that correctly.
yeah,
I got you though.
I kind of wish it was because that would be the first Titan track. But at the same time, I've never rode a Titan track.
I prefer traditional wood, anyways. Well, I mean,
Exactly.
not that I've ridden Titan Track, but I prefer traditional wood over RMC.
Like
So
generally when I get on a wet coaster I'm like, yes, even if it's quote unquote smooth, it has that grit
the
that
jank.
no other the jank no other steel
That's what
coaster
I like.
has. Like
That
so
is.
Zambezi, like basically a lot of the construction for a lot of these rides are moving along, and then Wildcats Revenge and Hershey Park is just they're kind of chilling.
Yeah, I've got a friend of mine that he's actually in the. If you ever check Snapchat, he posted a lot in the Snapchat. that
Oh,
we're
and
in.
the girls
But,
shit.
yeah, that he one of the guys lives right next to Hershey, and he's always posting stuff. Like he literally lives like basically on Hershey property. It seems
Wow.
like,
Wow.
and he's always posting stuff. You'll have to check that out at some point.
Yeah, I just know a lot of the parks are like they already have their 2023 hours, and I think Hershey doesn't even have that up yet, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to plan for that, and like, well, dang, I don't even know when I can try and ride this thing. So
I wonder exactly like percentage wise how far Wildcats Revenge is.
I know the underflip is completed,
Ooh.
and I want to say a zero G roll is. I saw a roll. I know the bit like the main element of the ride, the underflip, that is completely done. So yeah, I could see from everywhere else moving around, like how fast, like there are rides that are completed. You know, like Big Bear's Mountain, Area Force One, Pipeline has trains getting put on very soon. I saw that. SeaWorld is posting about that. And yeah, I'm thinking that's gonna be the last edition of 2023, unfortunately. But it might be a good thing because that might be one of the best rides of 2023. So,
Well, speaking of Hershey Park, another one I just saw is the whip has been removed.
Yep.
So
I have been on, I think, 2. I know this is the one I've been on the most. So it does hurt because I love me classic flat rides. So seeing any of them go, it is very unfortunate.
I've got a funny story about the whip. I did ride it actually this past season, 2022. But I did that when I was like at the park with my mom because it was kind of a meme. So when I was a kid at the Ocean City, Maryland boardwalk, I like stood up on the whip when I was like 4 years old or something.
No, you're breaking rules.
Yes.
Before...
On their whip,
yeah.
I stood up because I was like a little shithead like toddler, and I think they stopped the ride or something. So I was like, and then we rode the whip again this past season at Hershey. And that brought back those memories. That's a fun little flat.
No, it really is. It has great lats. It has a pretty good run time.
Yeah.
I've heard that one is the weaker one compared to a lot of other ones. But still, a whip is a whip. It's just like if when Kangaroo was taken out from Kennywood and there was a big riot, and then Palace had to save face and bring it back. Like, people love their classic flats, even if they aren't necessarily like the most thrilling nowadays. It's just sometimes fun is all you need. And
Kangaroo's fun.
Yeah, Kangaroos. I cannot wait. So it's one of the first trips I'm making when it's breaking free from winter.
We should try and make a little road trip in April or something.
Oh,
for that.
Yes. I wish Knoebels was closer, man. Because I know it's closer to Hershey, and it's definitely not closer to fucking.
Yeah,
Kennywood.
It's not. It's probably like 2.5 hours from Kennywood or something. I'll check right now.
That's not bad.
But it's not bad. But
yeah, it's not an hour, which is where it's from Hershey Park.
Yeah.
Which is nothing. That's a regular drive in Northern Virginia, Maryland. Like,
it's actually. Oh my god. So Kennywood to Knoebels is actually almost 4 hours. Yeah. I thought it was 2.5 for some reason. I was like, that's probably closer, but nah.
Yeah, I looked a little bit ago. That's why I was like, this is rough.
That's not manageable.
Like, I did not realize how big Pennsylvania was, essentially. Like,
mini Texas based. Nah, not mini Texas. I know I'll get hate for that comment, but
yeah, Texas could be its own country. Like,
yeah.
Good God. So
I don't know if you saw this, but Serengeti Flyer has been testing at BGT, so that's going to open in spring 2023.
Nice. Now,
which, I mean, I love the one at SeaWorld San Antonio. The I can't remember the Tidal Surge, maybe.
Yeah, the Screaming Swings, though.
Yes.
Yeah,
fantastic flats.
So yeah, I have a good time with the one at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, Finnegan's Flyer. I don't really get to ride it that much because generally I'm like, for some reason the wait for that one is always like bad compared.
I've never ridden it.
The views on it's pretty good. Like, I would get the back one where you're like actually over the you can see like over the little like kind of creek that there's made there because sometimes there's deer and shit, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to the park a lot, but I've never wanted to wait 45 minutes for a Screaming Swing when I could go ride Pantheon or whatever.
Oh yeah, so speaking of Busch Gardens Williamsburg, because I'll just segue like this because Finnegan's Flyer, you know, a ride like it's good, but the wait is really what deters me. Even with this ride that recently, you know, got closed and it's completely gone now, Mock Tower, I would never wait for. So That is officially gone. Like the only thing left of Mock Tower now is like some of the theming and decoration around it. Otherwise, the tower itself completely gone. There's nothing left but like some wiring in the very middle of the platform.
Honestly, I'd never wait for Mock Tower either, but I've definitely walked on it. I do that.
See, you know what's a problem when like you look right across that same midway, and it's the busiest days ever in the park. Like, it's just one of the busiest days. Verbolten's like at capacity. You look across Fest House, you know, like you can't even order food because it's like you're waiting 30 to 45 minutes. But Mock Tower, still 2-cycle wait.
The interesting thing about Verbolten though is like even though the queue's full, it only takes like 45 minutes.
Yeah, it is shocking because people will see it, they'll turn around, and I'm like, sometimes that might be the actually only option.
Yeah.
Really, one of the main issues why that happens at BGW though is they'll just randomly close rides. It's like, oh yeah, you know, Pantheon's not open today. I mean, that's understandable. Intamin. Oh, but Alpengeist and Griffin, we're still repainting them today for some reason. Anyways, we're not gonna crap out T's today. That's not my itinerary. But I guess moving on to Seas. This isn't Seas like our Sea World, but this is Marineland. Unfortunately, we were never able to make it here in its current state because it is looking for new buyers. It's seeming like it is on sale. And this is that coveted, unique, like very unorthodox park in Canada. I'm not exactly sure where it is in Canada, but they have what was that one ride? That one really weird arrow that's like a mile long but doesn't really do much. It's like hidden throughout like all the terrain in the park.
It would be Dragon Mountain.
Dragon Mountain. Yes.
I remember watching a POV of that at some point. I was like, that looks really interesting.
Yeah, that's essentially the main draw, and it doesn't really, you know, it's not necessarily known as an elite coaster to say the least.
I'd make that my 500.
It's so unique.
I'd
Why
make
not?
that a milestone.
Yeah. But the park was seeming like making some strides with the owners, but now seeming like they're just looking for a sale, and hopefully it will be sold to another operator that will try to at least keep the park open, maybe even expand on it because they have so much land. Like, if you ever look at vlogs or just people walking through that park, there is just so much walking between attractions. There's just so much room for expansion. So, it'd be really nice to see something come out of
it. I don't know. I feel like it's pretty doubtful.
Yeah, it's definitely not looking good for Marineland, but we'll see, you know. I think it's close to Canada's Wonderland, so that's prime if you, like, want to build up, you know, have another theme park, take some of the people that, you know, they know Canada's Wonderland is one of the most visited North American theme parks, and they don't want to deal with those crowds in the middle of summer. They have another choice, and, yeah. Basically, for the Canadian enthusiasts, I hope this will look good for y'all, whether being an operator or some sort that picks it up. I guess something similar to that. Is there anything similar to
that? In terms of sale, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know actually.
I saw someone posted something that said, "Do you think with Gravity Group retracking Grizzly, will it get Timberliners?" Like, no.
No. I hope it doesn't, because
I think it's highly doubtful.
But I don't think it will need Timberliners. That doesn't seem necessary in my opinion. Unless they find out, like, they do all that and then they throw the PTCs on there and then it values consistently. I feel like it would value more because the Timberliners are lighter. So, yeah, I just don't think the Timberliners would go on Grizzly. In fact, I would hope they keep PTCs for the ride experience. I think Grizzly just is a PTC roller coaster. It doesn't make sense for the Timberliners. It doesn't do enough.
Yeah, It's just like when they tried to do Timberliners on Voyage, and then were like, no, and went back to PTCs.
I actually did not know. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that
Yes.
in pictures. Because there are
They
some
even-
pictures I'll see where there's
yeah.
definitely Timberliners.
They even sold their PTCs at one point.
That's funny. But yeah, you know, these do just the job. It's funny because I think they have modern PTC. Like, Philadelphia Toboggan Company still makes trains. And they still, you know,
They do.
do
They
maintenance
refurbish
on
them.
them. Yeah,
Yeah.
so... Yeah, I don't see really... That doesn't really make sense to buy new trains.
Yeah, PTCs are here to stay, for sure. And that's one of my favorite trains, so.
Yeah, they're nice when I get room. And I'm they're okay. So yeah, I think we've talked about this. When you have room, one of the best roller coaster trains. When you are stapled, one of the worst roller coaster trains.
Very painful. Very
'Cause-
painful.
Man, it's just a plastic brick. Like,
Man, now I definitely want to go ride Wild One. I guess whenever they reopen.
hey, I'll make that the first home park trip of the 2023 year. Just
Haven't
see
we already
that
went to
schedule.
King's Dominion?
No, I haven't gone in 2023.
You haven't gone to... Oh, okay.
I don't think so. I went
I think
before.
I went on like January 1st, so.
Oh yeah, you went right after the New Year's party. I remember that. The day after.
Yeah.
Yeah, I literally have my platinum and everything, so I'm ready to go. So I'm thinking about going to Carowinds, maybe around like the March time. Anyways, we still got news. We're talking about trips.
Really?
Yeah, I'm thinking about
March?
going
Like-
down.
Them Cold Fury rides, man.
I don't know if it'll be like cold then. I'm gonna try to find a time where it's like 60,
Rumble
70.
325 was crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy cold.
I was shivering. I was in pain after my Fury ride.
Yeah.
So you know, this is funny. Let's get this out of the way because we're not a Disney cast. That's like a meme at this point, but they're always on the news.
But we like to talk about some Disney stuff.
Yeah, because Disney is what got me into all of this. Like, it really is. I'm not gonna like front or be fake like, oh, where I came from. Like, I loved the dark rides and the experiences growing up at Disney World. I never have gone to Disneyland yet. I would love to. That would probably be one of the next parks I would go to in the Disney parks and resorts. Just because apparently it has that feel more than Disney World of just the novelty of Disney. All right, a lot of Disney. Anyways,
I've got a hot take. Epcot is better than Busch Gardens Tampa Bay.
whoa, I can kind of see it though. It's just
I
they
don't know,
have Figment.
that's kind of troll.
Yeah, I'm like, it's just Figment alone makes it not as good as BGT.
Riding Figment while high.
Okay, that's an honorable mention for a high ride, by the way. Like, Epcot better than BGT. Like, operations wise, 100%.
I'm just digging at your having Iron Gwazi #1. Don't worry.
I mean, that's a testament. Like, it has the longest station wait of any coaster. It's in one of the worst operated parks, but the coaster is that freaking good. It's. Well, I did say though, like, I could ride Steve tomorrow, and Steve could be #1. Like, they're that close.
Yeah, that's fair.
They're just world class. It's gonna be very hard to beat those, I will say. But we'll see. I honestly think X2 is really gonna punch a hole for you. I think.
I'm interested to see how much I like it.
Are you gonna try front row first or back row?
I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna get on. It's not like a milestone or anything, because I'm gonna hit 200 on Ghost Rider still. So I'm just gonna go right on,
Ooh.
try and get laps. Probably.
Speaking of Ghost Rider, no, yeah, we gotta continue with Disney because we're not even on Disney at this point. But speaking of Ghost Rider, the operations, I don't know how they're gonna fix those, man. Because I basically saw recently on Twitter it was like consistently just 4 to 5 minutes between each dispatch, and I'm like, why? Why that ride specifically? And knots. I just hope like for you guys, it's like easy peasy for the most part. Even though is Knott's in the itinerary for the Buzz Bars, or is it just Magic Mountain?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Friday, and then we got Saturday, Sunday.
But there's no ERT or anything at Knott's. It's just burger.
Yeah, just mobbing.
Well, you. So I like how they joke where they say, "Oh, we add 30 to 45 minutes with our group every time we go into a line." With Ghost Rider, you guys are gonna add about an hour and a half with their operations, bruh.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna add so much time to Knott's. You're gonna stress test them, literally. But just down the highway, back onto what we were talking about, Splash Mountain. Even though this isn't down the highway, it's technically across the state. This Splash Mountain we're talking about, but it gave its last rides before being renovated and transferred over to the new IP of Princess and the Frog to Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And that was the one I rode, honestly, the only one I rode. I have not rode it in over a decade. And honestly, the best memories I had of that ride were just stuff happening with, like, my family. Like, you know, the ride's cool and all, but it definitely, it might be a hot take, but definitely not one of my favorites at the park. It's alright. A little bit dated. May have been more dated by the time I've gone, if I would have read before it closed down permanently in its current form. But the memories it had is what's really going to be sad for people, you know, like, oh, you know, it's gone, won't be able to relive them. The discourse online is what was funny, though. I don't know if you saw any of it.
No.
Oh, okay. So it was on all sides. It was, you know, people being too much, like, too extra on the whole issue, and essentially turning it to a political thing. And there was people just making it a satirical thing of, like, making fun of everyone that has any sort of feeling for the ride. So essentially, I was just there for the shits and giggles, like, just like
munching popcorn in the background. Right?
Yep, and just like, you know, there were people like having memorials of like placing all these Splash Mountain memorabilia, and there was a whole viral tweet about that, of how that's pathetic. Apparently, when if I recall, that happened with Volcano, with like a lot of closed rides that happened. It's not a weird thing to memorialize a ride. So, especially a literal classic like Splash Mountain is. Regardless, the funniest thing was I saw is people are selling Splash Mountain water, and I'm just like, bro,
I did see that.
Get out of here. Get out of here, bro. This is out of pocket. It's almost as close. Anyways, it will be in Magic Kingdom. It will be transitioned over to Tiana's Bayou Adventure, where it's essentially going to be the same ride. It's going to be updated animatronics and a less controversial theme and better music. I hate it or not, love it or not, Princess and the Frog has some slappers, man. Like, it has good music, and it is definitely better than. Unfortunately, at this point, it's just brain rot of zippity doo da, zippity day. Yeah, I think it's had its time. Those are basically my thoughts on Splash Mountain, though. I hope it definitely lives up, and if it's not better than the experience that is given now. And yeah, hopefully it doesn't take them 10 years.
I don't remember if I rode it when I was like a kid, and I went to Magic Kingdom for a day. I don't think I did.
Ugh. I know when I first went, I was afraid of any sort of horror, like.
I know I did Space Mountain.
Yeah, I was scared of any sort of scary looking attraction or intimidating, like any facade that was like even Splash Mountain. I'm like, nope. Like that's how wuss I was back then. Until like I forgot which one I rode first. Then I ended up getting all the mountains, but I still think Space Mountain is my favorite out of all of them, from what I remember. But keeping it over in Magic Kingdom, it seems like Universal has changed the game, literally, because Disney is having a very similar system with their lockers at Tron. And
Yeah, double-sided.
it is causing a little bit of controversy too, because there's not a lot of lockered attractions at Disney per se where you have to put things in a locker. And I think the main reason is for this attraction is because it's going over like the queue and all that stuff. They don't want to risk anything, and so that is probably why they have this here. It looks almost exactly the same to Universal's lockers. So, like, I'm not even gonna like even the width. Like, it doesn't look like the Cedar Fair or the Six Flags lockers.
Yeah. Yeah.
It looks so it'll probably be deep. And yeah, good on them for going. The thing is, what makes me kind of mad about seeing like all this Disney stuff come out like basically like a few days at a time. It's just more stuff about Tron. Is that it's clear that this could have been opened like probably years ago. This was probably done in 2020 or something, like 2021, and it was like, all right, now let's just throw out everything. They had all this set up. All right. I don't know when I'm ever gonna ride it, but hopefully it is at least decent for people, the locals down there, and everyone that to get the new cred that have waited 7 years to get. Where else here? We'll just go down or literally just down the street. What do you think of Universal's new sign? Because they unveiled their new sign.
I cannot believe it took a whole year.
Yeah, it's worse.
Say that at the end of last cast? I can't remember or not.
I don't know, but like it's been a while, and I see people like on Twitter and Instagram like either the story or whatever is that they're going into Universal, and it definitely looks more modern.
Yeah,
but
it reminds me of like the just like the logo, basically, on like the studio store and stuff.
Yeah, it's just a little sterile, and it's kind of placed weird. I don't know.
It's just kind of surprising that it took an entire year for them to get that up.
Yeah, I don't know. I would love to know the behind the scenes stuff as to why certain things take as long as they do. Because like it seems easy from the outside to talk crap on it, but I would like to know exactly, just to be like, oh, maybe there is some weird stuff just behind the scenes.
Speaking of Universal, Hagrid's is undergoing maintenance from February 21st to March 3rd or 5th. March 5th. So like that is a 1, 2, 3.
It's about a month.
Like about a 2-week span. And of course that does fall on the days I'm gonna be at Universal. It's kinda
That's rough.
Yeah, it'll be on like the end of my trip though. So not that big a deal.
I feel like everything else is gonna be exacerbated because of that, like the lines. But I don't know. It could be the same.
Yeah. It looks. Now, of course, it's just a Reddit comment, but someone said last year's hurricane caused damage, and
Yeah, that's the reason I remember.
yeah, the ride's not gonna get the ride will get some work, but it's mainly the queue and stuff apparently. So that's interesting.
Yeah, that's the reason, because I didn't go through the regular queue, but apparently if you go through the regular queue now, you have to go up like a set of like they have like these construction steps set up. You have to go through and then a weird tunnel, and then you go back into the main queue. It's because of the damage that happened with the hurricane. But we never experienced the main queue because of every time I went to Hagrid's, it was with the disability access. So
Yeah.
we went to the exit.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it was a Velocicoaster. Isn't it funny that we rode Velocicoaster apparently when it had nerfed operations?
I don't know if we got hit by the nerfed operations or not.
Apparently they started like the 1st of December, like the week before we went. Which, because I was looking at his video about it when they like started all that, and it kind of makes sense because they definitely did double check, and that's the reason why I got hella stapled every single ride. Apparently they're getting faster with the method now, because people are beginning to time them, and their own El Toro-Ryan nerd in them is just checking out as they're waiting in the line. Apparently it's not as bad. as they might be getting more used to just the motions of the new system. So
Yeah.
but that's just all the Universal stuff in Florida. But back over in Vegas, going about the new Universal Halloween Horror Nights stuff there. The name kind of got leaked because it was part of a document, but it seems like it will be called Universal Horror Unleashed. That will be the name for the big area in Vegas. I forgot how much, but they have a pretty good amount of land in that lot. So it's definitely going to be indoor, but we'll see.
Yeah. I wonder how many like mazes they'll have, and I guess they'll probably do rotating IPs and stuff.
I need to find it, but there's people already like theory crafting what could be in there, and I'm kind of curious because we don't know what they could necessarily do yet, but it's always fun. They're probably gonna throw in some of like the Universal monsters at classics, and something else to do in Vegas.
Yeah, along with Canyon Blaster.
Isn't that basically the best ride there? Like, it's actually
I believe so.
Not bad, from what I heard.
I heard it's one of the best loopers, aero loopers.
Yeah, that or Tennessee Tornado for sure. Like those two are up there. I was a Loch Ness lover until this year. This year, I don't know.
When I rode it for the first time this past year, I liked it, and then like the last time I rode it, I was not a fan. So,
like the first two drops are great, and the loop is great, and then the pacing is just bad.
I'm not a Busch Gardens Williamsburg fan, so.
Yeah, but like that's just one ride there.
Yeah.
You'll be a fan when they have the RMC.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
I didn't pick up my Dark Coaster Quick Queue. But I kind of don't care. Like that's kind of just shows like.
I don't know when I'll be getting out to ride Dark Coaster. Absolutely no clue. Absolutely no clue.
So, did we talk about this at all? Terran running in the snow.
I feel like we've talked. I don't know. I feel like we might have talked about it, but that is really cool.
Yeah, like it was literally running just in a full snowstorm.
Like I could not imagine getting to ride that in that condition. Like, that would be incredible.
Six Flags Great America got another beer. They got their own B&M shipment, just like how Great Adventure got their B&M shipment. People don't know what this is though. I'm assuming it's more trains again.
Yeah. I mean, trying to think. Maybe I don't know. Could they be doing the same thing with Raging Bull as like Nitro is getting an extra train? Maybe.
That's what I was thinking. That's what kind of makes sense because if Salim was really trying to go this guest experience route before pivoting and then realizing he couldn't just go full on guest experience, he was probably actually trying to help out the parks because Fiesta Texas got their third train for IRAD just so that there shouldn't be a situation where there's one train, and then essentially they're trying to do the same thing with Nitro, and they're trying to do the same thing potentially with Raging Bull, where like we want those rides to always have at least two trains, and that's good because B&Ms with two trains are still some of the best capacity rides without even trying. Exactly. Like they could be lazy and those rides are still eating people.
Exactly.
So I would say actually a smart investment for those parks as well. Because like Great America definitely has pretty good attendance. You know, Great Adventure, one of the most attended Six Flags parks. I think so, right?
Great Adventure?
For Six Flags,
I thought they did really bad this year.
Actually, this past few years they might have been doing bad.
Yeah.
They used to be.
Yeah.
These past from 2019 until now they were like, I mean they really haven't been doing much with it, to be fair. They just added New Jersey Devil.
Have you seen the Chessington construction?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like one of the ones I've been keeping up with the most. Is there more to it? Oh no, that's basically. So they're
Yeah, you might have seen this already.
yeah, because I know that's one ride too. They're basically about to put trains on and begin testing. So that's going to be exciting to see that. Because like I said, whenever B&M steps out, or any company that I criticize steps out, does some, I'll give them kudos. It generally looks like an interesting like ride with the whole theme and everything. Capacity, I worry about, but so yeah, we missed this in the cast, so this is late news. But Voyage is getting also the pre-cut Gravity Group track. They're getting 900 feet of it. I'm not exactly sure where.
I don't know. Did they didn't say anything about which sections?
They did. I just forgot.
Oh,
Yeah, so I was like, I'm not sure where.
I got you.
Not flying turns. I'm trying to figure out what the name. So you heard about Knoebels bringing back like a classic, right? It's like another. Like, no, what was so? There was one park that was bringing back something we talked about. Was it Waldemere?
No, I don't think so. I think it was Knoebels again.
So they're bringing back two things, or is it the same thing?
Let me see. Because Knoebels is getting a Byron Curve. Is that what you're talking about?
I swear they were getting like the first like flying coaster or something.
I'm
Oh,
not
I
sure.
found it on Reddit.
Oh,
Oh, okay. No way! How did I
What's
forget
that?
about this? So they're basically adding Knoebels alongside of the Byron Curve. They're also adding essentially a kangaroo. They're adding their own kangaroo.
Oh, is it the Boneyard?
Where they tweeted, some of you might have heard the rumor we're in possession of a rare and historic ride called a flying coaster. Yep, that rumor is true. Bringing this particular ride back to life requires an intricate process, so we don't have a project. So we don't have any way to project an opening date, or if the ride will even operate at Knoebels. However, if anyone is capable of making it happen, it will certainly be our team.
Right.
Fun fact, John Norman Bartlett, who designed this ride, was also the designer of the original Flying Turns. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can assume, since we saw Kangaroo get brought back, this is going to be back, and Knoebels will be top tier, if it already wasn't.
Knoebels is absolutely top tier.
Because these rides are some of the best flat rides. I'm telling you. There needs to be a modern version of them.
Why don't they just ask Kennywood for help? Like,
Yeah, literally
You know,
just
they-
drive across the highway, rural.
I'm sure like their like engineering team could help Knoebels get it operating. I don't know why they wouldn't be willing to.
Yeah, I don't know. Just like, I feel like they don't bounce off each other because they're so far away from each other. But they definitely, I feel like, would, if push come to shove, just be like, hey, Kennywood, how'd you do this?
Yeah.
Hey, Palace, what's up? Got any pointers? Got any tool tips to give me?
I don't see why not.
Alright. Let's go overseas here. And then, because I think, yeah, overseas is basically the end of it. We're going to UK. And that's the end of the news, where we'll cover this first. Obviously, we've never been on Duel, because we've never been to the UK. But Duel, that has been closed. The Vekoma Madhouse? Was it Vekoma that made those? Basically, those houses that, like, you're sitting inside and the walls and stuff move around you in, like, this 360 manner. So it's like you're able to get this really cool immersive experience. it was medieval themed and stuff back then, but now it's getting appears to be maybe a dark horror fantasy theme, where it's now the curse at Alton Manor, the transformation of the dual ride. So we'll see how that will go, because yeah, I've never been in a madhouse, but the concept alone always intrigued me. I'm like, that sounds super dope. And there's quite a few in Europe, not nearly as many in North America.
Yeah.
I know Intimate, I think, is trying to have their hand at it too now with their new theater experience, like kind of 4D theaters, where kind of the whole, basically the whole seating, like area, all the seats move, and like look at different screens. Man, just the way the engineers are coming up with these experiences now, I just can't wait to be immersed. That's all I gotta say. I can't wait to forget I'm even like living still. You know, I'm not just in an amusement park.
That's got to speak on a little bit on Alton Towers and
yeah. And they're
the
always
level that they're at.
That's the thing. I think Alton Towers is always keeping essentially the rides that have been there, but changing them to a new theme and a new, keeping them fresh for the generation. Because I know the Ghost Train they've had has been quite a few things, I think. So
Yeah.
I think it's actually potentially rumored to get another retheme sometime soon. But last of the news here, and then I'm going to take this rep or have an extra topic. But I don't know if you've heard of Megaphobia, but it's one of the best wooden coasters in UK. But also they're also getting Gravity Group Retrack. It's an Oakwood theme park. It has speed, but Megaphobia is basically the main sell of the park. It's a super long ride. There's a clone of it, I think, somewhere in the U.S. Don't quote me on that, but I know it is a clone ride.
Well, it's a CCI, so
yeah. Apparently, it's one of CCI's like best. It's really good. From looking at the layout, I personally think it looks like really solid, and the length is like I'm surprised how long it goes.
Yeah.
It's getting 40% of the track, like done by this pre-cut track. So this might be the most extensive one, like Grizzly.
That's exciting. I'd love to see Woody's being upkept. So
Speaking of that, Gravity Group basically announced, like, they confirmed they have like up to 10 projects this year. I don't know if that's
hopefully something new. At least one new coaster, please.
Look, that's what I'm saying. Like, how much of that is a coaster, or how much is like, all right, 9 of these we're just retracking.
I hope it's not all retracking. That's it. Please.
But like 10 like Gravity Group is doing a lot, you know.
Yeah.
They are.
I mean, they're big.
There's one thing I want to say, but I gotta save it for later for the topic we got. So, man, so that was it for that. I'm happy for you guys to be able to keep Megaphobia, because I'm not sure how close Oakwood is, but I know the UK generally is pretty easy to drive if you're on a certain side. So depending on where we go first, hopefully we can also hit up Oakwood, because Megaphobia, specifically in the UK, is a bucket list coaster for me.
Yeah. UK is like one of the easiest overseas to do, from what everyone says.
We also missed Rep the Ultimate in the UK.
Yeah.
The weirdest coaster, one of the weirdest coasters ever to exist. And I do not know if it was actually good or not, but it looked jank. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
And if it's good jank, it's probably already top 30. It's like
literally.
Alright. So I don't know which segment you want to do first. If you want to do the questions at the end.
We can talk about bucket list first.
Okay.
If you want.
So let me do this first for y'all. So we got another segment. We got fan questions. Do you have it up? I don't know if you have it up.
I am looking at it, yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna take this. So you can take it off if you want to, but we actually have people actually asked.
We got some responses from an Instagram poll asking you guys about your bucket list credits. So I think Timmy definitely takes the cake here because his is. I want to make sure I pronounce this. I know this is. I looked this up and I was like, seriously.
No, as soon as I
So-
saw what he put in, I was laughing because I was like, "This is one of my coasters. I want to write really bad too." But obviously, it's a meme. Like it's.
So it's Hundepruten at Bon Bon Land in Denmark, which translates to dog fart coaster.
Yeah, if you are not informed of the infamous dog fart coaster, it's not even just called that just because. It's literally like excellently themed about
Yeah.
a dog farting on the coaster.
I really don't understand.
I don't even want to try to open that bag of worms to try to understand why. It's clearly a kiddie coaster, family coaster. It would be hilarious if that was like a big thrill, like a main standout. Oh my god.
It's like the only coaster at the park.
Is it really?
No, I'm saying like if that was
Oh.
like the only coaster at the park. Fun Spot should get the dog fart coaster.
Yes. Yes, give me something
wanna-
else to ride at a fun spot.
Pretty much.
But yeah, Timmy sent in that one. Let me pull up the rest here.
We've got 2 people had the same one, and that's Karnan.
Yes, CLT Coasters, and our boy AJ at Thrills of Virginia had Carnan, which super good ones because fuck that
Yeah.
looks like Gerstlauer's like best. That really does.
Yeah.
It looks intense. It looks whippy.
Intense.
It has
whip,
lap bars, I
airtime.
think.
Yeah. Definitely on my bucket list.
It has a secret inside element. Like, apparently, like it's the best chain lift for first timers.
Right.
Also from Thrills of Virginia, X2,
Mm.
which is a super
Hey,
good one. And
I'll give him a shout and let him know what I think here, and
yeah,
few
because you're going to be
days.
getting it in a week and a half.
so excited.
Oh,
That's
fuck.
gonna be fantastic, man.
I literally am excited for you, man. Like I'm just like gotta make a redemption to Cali somehow.
Yeah.
And then lastly,
Also from Thrills of Virginia. Yeah. Ride to
oh
Happiness.
no, yeah, he did have more. My bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he said Ride to Happiness, which absolutely. Hopefully we can get the US version of that soon in Time Traveler, but
Yeah, I'm hoping even. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it because it bleeds into one of our segments. That's
King's
all I'm gonna say.
Dominion gets a Ride to Happiness clone.
A clone?
Yes.
Why
Or
not?
just like even better. Even better than Ride to Happiness.
And then
Yeah.
lastly from AJ is Terran.
Oh, I didn't even notice Charon. I don't know how I
Which-
looked over that.
Yeah, I mean Fantasia alone, like that.
Yeah.
That
Bucket
park
list.
is an experience.
Yeah.
But lastly, from Coast and Ferg, is Steve. He hasn't gotten Steve
Fantastic choice.
yet. It is a very, very, very good choice. Totally, my Discord profile picture is my first ride, but our first ride together on Steve. And
Yeah.
honestly,
Beautiful.
to me, I don't see how anyone cannot have a good time in that ride. Personally, just balls to the wall, insane. You will not be disappointed. That's one I can comment on.
I don't know how you could be disappointed. There's some people though. Not
Some
even in the
people,
top
it's
50, right?
yeah, it's not even top 100. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's not
Insanity.
even. It's not even top 50 in U.S. It's fine.
Insanity.
I smell cap. All right. All right. On to the actual just fun segment now. After all the news and stuff, I thought it'd be fun to just with all the stuff and just theory crafting. We always come up with other parks and other things that are happening, like with Top Thrill, and even with stuff that happened. It reminded me the infamous one of just with Mystic Timbers of what's in the shed and all that
Yeah.
stuff and all the speculation. It led me to think of just all this old content back in the day, which I used to watch. And I thought, why not throw a crack at it ourselves? Of basically a 5-year plan for our home parks. Literally all of like, so not even just Katy. So Six Flags and Busch Gardens Williamsburg.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you wanted to do an objective one and a dream one, but that's what I have. I have like one that's basically laid out of like what it looks like, would make sense what they would do, logically and business wise. And then there's stuff for what I would do. My other 5-year plan.
We can kind of like, I don't know. I mean, I've got just a general kind of
Alright.
what I kind of think, and that kind of coincides with like what I want. You know, I don't know.
All right, yeah, that works out then.
So I think I don't know. But
So
so what park should we start out with? Because the one that I don't really have a lot for is Busch Gardens Williamsburg because I'm not
really,
a big fan of the park.
okay, it's still
Yeah.
your own park. All right.
Busch is like 2.5, so that's like my like farthest away home park, pretty much.
It's my furthest away too.
Because America is 45 and Katie's an hour and a half.
But like, okay, this will give some more clarity on how I feel. Like, I really like that park, but the experience that it has given me recently has been much a lackluster to what it used to be. And
Yeah.
my preference in rides, the rides are great for what they are, for the landscapes, the way that, for what they do for the park. But for my preferences, generally, I don't know. I have some of my favorites 45 minutes away at Kings Dominion. So,
Yeah.
and a lot of these rides that are there aren't even in my top 40, top 50. It's hard for me to justify. So, that'll kind of bleed into what my plans are
Right.
to kind of fix that in general. But I guess you could start off then, since you have a more general.
Now, which park do you want to start with?
Oh, we'll start with Kings Dominion, the one we go to the most.
So, 2023 for me is gonna be Jungle Expedition expansion continued. So I think that we're gonna see ride rethemes this year. That's kind of what I got.
Which ones?
I'm thinking Backlot and Flight of Fear.
I feel like they would have said something by now, though.
I don't know. We'll see. You know.
But yeah, this is
We'll
like,
see.
yeah, that's 2023. That's the only thing they would do. That you think they would like continue their like
They're
Jungle
kind of they're
X-
tracky. I mean, I'm sure we'll see small improvements elsewhere in the park. 2024, I think Intimidator will be rethemed.
Do you have
And
any
then
sort of idea what you think a name or a theme would be?
I mean, I think it kind of. I think everything's gonna be Jungle X themed. but I don't exactly know what it could be. I think it will be rethemed though. And I think in 2024 we could also see more just general improvement. I mean, I feel like parks are only going to continue getting better. At least Kings Dominion specifically, I think it is only going to continue to get better.
Parks that seem like they're on an actual path, like they
Yeah.
know what they're doing. They aren't
I
kind
mean,
of.
now that we're kind of seeing they want to create more immersive like lands and stuff, and like they're really taking strides with Jungle X. Like I think they're going to keep that foot on the pedal.
Mm-hmm.
Because like then in 2025, I think we'll get the volcano replacement.
Do you have? What do you
Which
think the volcano replacement will be? Theme and all.
Axis? I still think Axis is what we're gonna get. That's what I'm not. I'm still sold on that personally.
Okay. Okay.
And then after that, though, after 2025, we get 2026, and I think that's where the transition starts. Where it might not be like major, but the focus is going to be either the water park or Planet Snoopy. And like that doesn't mean that these two areas might not get touched at all between 2023 and 2025. Like they could get some small stuff maybe and like minor, you know, stuff to make it just generally better. But I think once you get past the volcano replacement, you get into 2026, you're looking at Snoopy or Water Park being a
Yeah.
more focused thing, and same with 2027. And then the other thing that I wanted to note was I think 2026, 2027, you'll start seeing some focusing in Old Virginia. Like I think maybe that Dinosaurs Alive plot, go-karts, maybe even that theater. But I could definitely see some expansion and working over in that area to the right of Grizzly. 100%. That's what I've got for King's Dominion.
All right. I'll give my general what I think for Kings Dominion. So, because I kind of agree with a lot of it. Like I could see a lot of it. Like that just makes sense.
Yeah.
So with my 2023, I think honestly, I don't think they're gonna do much, bro. Like,
Really?
I don't think they're gonna. I think they're gonna continue the theming. Maybe we'll see continued like. Maybe we'll see Backlight. I could see Backlight maybe, but I don't know about Flight of Fear yet. And then 2024 would be the actual big like expansion.
Yeah. Maybe they'll do just Backlot next year or this year, 2023, and then the following we get 305 and Flight of
That's
Fear.
what I was thinking. I'm like
in the same year.
2024 they do that, and then so we're continuing all that expansion. Hell, and because they're rethemes and anything, they honestly add some water park stuff as well. They probably add a little bit of stuff of that while adding some more stuff. In my opinion, around 2024, just because they know for 2025, it's going to be the big game changer. What Volcano Replacement's going to be, which in my opinion, I'm not going to spoil my dream yet, but I think it honestly would be a Mac Extreme Spinner.
Okay.
I think they could.
I mean, Cedar Fair works with Mach.
Yeah, they work with Mach. There's no Extreme Spinner in their lineups yet.
Yeah.
That'll be the first one they added. It'd be a hell of an extreme one, and it's gonna be launched. You know, like now
Man,
the
I mean,
launch is not gonna be
that'd
volcanoes, but I still think that is a damn worthy replacement.
I agree.
2026, because the water park stuff happened, we might see more, and then generally quality of life because they just added a brand new themed standout attraction. Not really
Yeah.
much. In fact, it's gonna set up into 2027 where we're gonna see a whole new area in Old Virginia. Maybe call it Grand Virginia. They're gonna retheme it like we see the rethemed of Jungle X. It's gonna be a whole rejuvenation of it, and we're gonna possibly see them take out the go karts. Hopefully they do. It's
Yeah.
And they use the theater for a good amount of stuff, so I can see them still using it. Like they use it for bands every year, like the schools and the counties, and they're now using it for their experiences. Like they had one for Haunt, and they had it for Chris. I didn't see it, but it was a whole show, like a 30-minute show with like Santa and stuff, and like
Yeah.
So I think they're gonna try to utilize that, but taking out the go-karts, the Dinosaurs Alive, that's clearly enough space for a coaster. So,
Yeah.
heck, I don't even think it needs to be a thrill ride because you just added one 2 years ago. Make it a family thrill. Even make it a family. Just make it something that's not a waste like the go-karts is, because literally, that is a waste.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll go through the Dream now.
Okay.
So the Dream 2023, they retheme everything. Everything is rethemed already in Jungle X. I'm going through this, so everything's like, we got Backlot, we're going through the Temple, Flight of Fear, we're going, I don't know what they're going to do with that, honestly. I don't know what the plan theme for that. And Intimidator.
Let's get like Cosmic Rewind.
You get Cosmic Rewind projections on everything. And except it's not Cosmic Rewind, we're in a weird tomb that is taken over, like Indiana Jones, like, or whatever. I don't know, something badass that's like up to date, super like modern technology for lighting. And we're like, I'm just like, even if it isn't like I'm not knowing I'm somewhere, like it just looks super freaking cool. On Intimidator, make it like Black Panther or Panther or something, and paint it just jet black.
Yeah.
Just jet black. Just have it looming in the back, and then maybe not even make it a Panther. Maybe make it like Panther Mountain or something, because there's a mountain in like the art that we have now, where it shows where Jungle X is, and then it shows like this looming mountain space in the back, which that could be Intimidator when I look at the concept like that. So yeah, make it like big black or just dark gray, super menacing. Boom. 2024. That would be so insane, bro. Let me come in next year and we sell that shit.
Intimidator just looks like a big version of Hyperion.
Yeah, that would. Oh my god. Oh, that would look so good. For 2024, I would continue on. Honestly, I would just say screw it. Just put the SNS Axis now. Just do it now.
Yeah.
Do it now. Get it done. And so then we can focus on other stuff later. Let's get all that stuff done and just get all the phases out of the way. 2025, let's do Water Park, Quality of Life. Keep it easy. And then 2026, basically we set up for a big rider group in the back next to next to Grizzly. Make it even bigger. Make it the dad of Grizzly. You know how they did Son of Beast. And make it twice its height, twice its length, and Titan drag it or something. I don't know. Or maybe don't Titan drag it. And yeah, 2027. From there, what does the park need? Flats. Oh crap. Add in one of those really weird spinning like multi-dimensional. I don't even know how to describe it, but basically like the most unique flat ride you can think of, because King's Dominion needs a flat. Like they need a really good flat. And yeah, that's my dream for King's Dominion. Adding it all the theming done this year. Getting our volcano replacement with an SNS Axis full theming 2024. And then Quality of Life up until we get a gravity group in 2026. No, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
But that generally won't happen. I think my first plan, like our first two are, we basically kind of agree on. Like they're gonna start small with the theming here. We might see one of the new rides be rethemed this year. Looking like Backlot or Flight of Fear, probably both, or maybe both. And then the year after, Intimidator, then some more building up.
I think it's just gonna build up to the replacement.
Yep.
It's gonna take a couple
Which
years. 2025
you think
replacement.
it's gonna be an SNS Access, though? Still, where
Let's
I
just
think it's gonna
hope
be
we
a
get
mock
something.
Stream Spinner.
Let's just hope we get something.
I hope it's not a B&M. That's all that I
I'd,
hope.
I'd be so angry.
We
Blowing
get
them
a.
out.
And then after that water park expansion, so we set up
Yeah.
for Old Virginia expansion from 2027. So,
You want to
That-
do Six Flags America?
yep. Because I was like, that's what we got for KD, Kings Dominion. That one seems like pretty like. I feel like a lot of people could agree with that. I don't know if people are gonna be like, nah, that's no way. Ain't no way. I could honestly, I mean, I could see some things change. You know, maybe a new
Yeah.
flat gets put in Jungle X. Who knows?
That'd be nice.
But that's all we got for Kings Dominion with our 5-year plan. Six Flags America. RC, go.
So, um, let me see something real quick. You know, Penguins Blizzard River, is that closed? Do you know? Are they closing that?
Is that tube ride?
Yes. And like over by like Overshrink Superman.
The worst Gotham area ever.
Yeah.
Or DC area ever, excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think so. I don't know if it'll be 2023 or 2024, but I can definitely see Penguins Blizzard River coming down.
There's another
like
only
being-
water ride though.
Getting taken. No, they have a flume and they have a whitewater canyon type ride, actually.
Why the
But
heck is that ride there? That ride should have been
that's
gone years
over-
ago.
Yeah, it's over. Okay. So I think 2023 for America. I know they've been doing roar track work still, to some capacity, right?
Yeah.
I think that will get finished up, and I also think Six Flags America will get a water park expansion.
I mean, the main draw for the park for a lot of the consumers is the water park.
Yeah.
Like, more people go to the water park there than the actual amusement park. So that makes sense to me.
I think
Also,
yeah.
yeah.
And then I think 2024 we see Blizzard River probably taken out, at least by then. And I think we'll see Whistle Stop Park and Coyote Creek either reopen or get some sort of revamp. So that's like the Mind Eraser area, and then
Yeah.
Whistle Stop Park's over like by Gotham City and stuff. 2025. I think-
Visualizing this park in my head right now, and it's just a
I know.
I'm sorry.
And I only have like one visit since, and I mean it just looks so run down.
It's just like
Not
it's
gonna
so sad. It can be so much more, bruh.
2025, I think we'll see Looney Tunes Movie Town and then Mardi Gras get some sort of like revamp or like refresh. And this is my sleeper. 2026, I think we'll get a Raptor over like maybe by where Blizzard River was or something.
You think it's gonna be the second gen or a new model?
Yes. New model or second gen. Yeah. And then I guess 2027 I'll go with I don't know, it's Six Flags America, so what could they possibly do? Maybe they'll get like a flat or something. I don't know. Maybe like Voodoo Drop will get taken out, like because they can't take care of Intamins. They're not gonna be able to take care of it.
It's
or
actually a good one too.
something. Yeah.
It's actually a good drop.
I don't know. I can imagine like just like something else getting removed or something random.
I mean, I basically agree. Honestly, I think that everything. Well, we kind of have a cheat code with 2023.
Yeah.
No comment, but I think they're going to do water park expansion, and yeah, it will be good for the park because obviously what I said with the water park and how that's their actual money, and 2024 they will get rid of Penguin, and
Yeah.
maybe replace it with something also. Like they might close it in 2023, even like this year, to get rid of it earlier for the expansion. But I think they're gonna add the Piscetti model.
Ah, did not think of
I
that.
think they're gonna
That
add that there, and it's gonna be a draw for more families to go. Maybe even like
yeah.
just to go in after the water park. Because that's the thing is like families can go to a water park and go, but a lot of the rides there really aren't family oriented. So it's a lopsided experience at Six Flags America. They need to fix that gap. So 2025, I would assume, since they technically added a coaster, they're gonna add maybe a gentler flat ride. I don't know exactly, but a gentler one to an extent. Maybe a new model will come out that is trending at the time that will make sense. But 2026, I honestly think that's when they're gonna RMC Roar. I think Roar is just numbered.
Really?
I think they are trying to keep it for the time being. Unless they do between those times, they actually do a full retrack.
Yeah.
I think that's when the Roar will be the new RMC in the park, and I don't know if it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be the size of Wildcat's Revenge, if it's going to be a hyper. Who knows? I just think that's going to be the next candidate, one of the few ones. Yeah. If it's like if they're trying to actually turn around Six Flags America, not just let it sit there like they've been doing for the past few years or decades actually. 2027, I actually think they will do an extensive retrack on Wild One, and that will make that their main Woody in the park.
I like that. I mean, Wild One's not rough, so not super rough.
Yeah, I think by a few years, it might get to a point they're like, you know what, let's just get like a Gravity Group full pre-cut engineered track, because it's just known by then, and this is it. We basically converted 2 of our rides and themed them as 2 new rides. Six Flags, like it seems very Six Flags to me. I could see it. So, honestly, didn't really have much Dream. The Dream was like basically the same. The only difference was, and it was funny that you said a Raptor, was I was like, all right, so in 2025 they had a Raptor, then they RMC Roar. In 2026, then they just pre-cut in 2027. That was the only dream I had for Six Flags America.
Yeah.
Water is so good,
I'll let you take away Bush, man, because like I said, like
you really can't think of anything like you would add to any to improve it. Like not even like objectively, like a dream that you would add for Bush to make it a park you would go to. Because like now that you put it in perspective, I kind of get it. It is the same distance as Hershey Park for you now. So I'm like, oh.
So if they do get a 240-foot RMCI box, what could I say? You know what I mean? Like,
I think it's supposed to be 220, but
okay,
I wouldn't complain if it's 240.
Or if they get a 240-foot, 220-foot T-Rex, either way, or a modern Intamin like Hyperion. I mean, that's definitely a reason to go once in a while and ride that. They could also, launch Pantheon at a higher speed. That'd work too. But I mean, realistically, I think that they're gonna get whatever that height waiver coaster, the Draken Fire replacement. They're gonna get that, and I think they're gonna replace Mach Tower. But after that, like I don't really know what they're gonna do, or when. I could see them doing whatever their big coaster is the same year as King's Dominion does the volcano replacement.
I mean, their anniversary is coming up. So,
okay.
And I think it's lining up to be 2025. It could be 2024. Yeah. I don't remember exactly, but essentially it's coming up along when King's Dominion is getting their volcano replacement. So that year is going to be popping, in my opinion, regardless. Like, those parks are going to be just like, come to Virginia Please, we want you here.
Right.
But objectively, we're getting Dark Coaster, so that's, I mean,
Yeah, I knew that one was a given.
but experience wise, that's what I was trying to think now, since they are generally more experience focused, right?
Right.
I could see them adding some food options, and maybe, hopefully, having staff for like trying to improve on what was missing since the pandemic era, and that is staffing. But to be
Yeah.
honest, that is everywhere right now. So they really need to just work on paying your workers a little more. So you probably
Yeah.
wouldn't have this issue, cause like, anyways, 2024, I think that kind of has to be a coaster. Like, there's no way they would just put a Star Flyer back there. I think it's going to be an RMC.
Yeah.
And I would love for it to be an Intamin Mega. But I don't think that differentiates enough from 45 minutes away with Intimidator.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, it's unless they make it the wing style, right?
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be an RMC, because then they can say, "Oh, we have a giant RMC. We have the biggest one in the world." You know, they're gonna have a great drop. It's gonna use the terrain. They're gonna have like, it's gonna be like a callback to Lightning Rod with like its quad down. It's going to be incredible. So from there, 2025, that's where I am not too sure, because they could wait a year and add the new coaster in 2025, or they could
Yeah.
have the new flat ride. And I don't think it's going to be the Mock Tower replacement yet. It could be. But I think they're going to add a family flat. Since the Seas is so ride oriented at the moment that it kind of makes sense to just for them to just keep going that route, I assume. So 2026, I would hope they slow down and just go with experiences and open like a restaurant or a bar or something, because
Yeah.
they do like doing that too. Do they coincide that with other times? I'm trying to think if they kind of joint open that with like rides and stuff. They kind of did that with like Glacier Bar and stuff with Ice Cream.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't think they would be adding another big coaster after just 2 years. They added a massive RMC, so I think it's
Yeah.
going to be that, and then more guest experience focus. 2027 though, I think they're going to go back to the reins, and I think that's when they'll get their Giga.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think honestly, that's when I think that's going to be a B&M, but
Oh God.
like I do think if they were to get a Giga, it's going to be a B&M.
Yeah.
But if it's anything close to Fury, then I ain't complaining.
I mean, the Nuts had a decent layout. So, I don't know, maybe they'll get the Nuts layout at a discounted price.
See, the thing is they're always gonna have the advantage of having terrain on their side to make even though imagine if Apollo's Chariot were where Intimidator was. Like it'd
Right.
be even worse. Like it'd be even worse. But where it is, at least you like have a great scenery, a great setting. Yeah, it makes up for the fact that it is just okay and average now. Yes, I get some of probably the worst floater in any B&M hyper, but because of that, honestly, I do think Intimidator gives worse floater. I'm sorry, I really do. I think it's worse in terms. It's just so just underwhelming. But yeah, if I were to dream, RMC, and then an Intamin Mega, and then an Intamin Giga.
Yeah.
That's basically what I think. If they were just like insane with their coaster adding strategy, but. And then finally for 2027, an RMC T-Rex. That would be the Giga. Sorry, excuse me.
Yeah, they're just gonna like invest like 60 million in coasters.
I mean, they're already doing that like now, so it's just they're spreading it out because in my opinion, CC's like CC's, huh? See, they see like family coasters as like essentially family or flat rides.
Yeah.
But, like I genuinely think that's how they see family coasters. So like, they're like, oh yeah, we're just gonna add them. What's the difference? You know, it's a thrilling ride. You know, just heck, they take up a lot more space, but also a lot of their parks really aren't that built up. So it kind of makes sense that they're now building them up.
Yeah.
Like they were there,
I
you
don't know.
go there and see the exhibits and obviously Shamu and all that. Now that none of that's there, it's just the rides. And the exhibits are very like, you can go and see specific ones, but like they're definitely 15 to 30-minute experiences.
They've got more work to do.
Yeah, that's why like I get it, but it's crazy to see like. It's crazy to see live action, real time, a company
Yeah.
doing this essentially. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's it for our 5-year plans, the bucket list. We got hopefully KD getting something super swagger and all their rethemes done for the volcano
Still.
replacement.
Really looking forward to whatever they announce for 2023.
Yeah,
They've got to do something in Jungle X.
they kind of teased, but I think I almost want to say their announcement has to be like the Grizzly man, like the Grizz was
Man.
it.
I hope it's more than just that.
Man, I just love my park. I just want to see it keep improving, but I get it, you know.
Yeah.
I get it. But that's the segment. That's essentially the cast, y'all. So y'all made it here. Thank y'all for listening. All our bullshitting and talking about coasters and everything amusement parks. Yeah, the rip before it had me frosty. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah, it had me pretty frosty.
Yeah, I had a lot of funnel. So I've just been like, bro, chilling. Pretty much.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, it's been quite a day. And I still gotta go into class. But it is what it is. Be on that grind. Literally, that's just grinding for the summer. Because my God. I just can't wait. That's all. These trips are gonna hit so hard.
Yes.
Uh,
I think I need to like chill after March till summer possibly.
oh yeah. I mean, we really are lucky where we live because even if we chill, we can still hit Kennywood. You can still hit Hershey or Knoebels.
Exactly.
Like, the DMV area is goated for coasters, man. Goated.
Underrated.
Otherwise, I'm trying to think of shoutouts. Shoutouts to everyone that listens to the cast every week.
Much
Obviously, that's a
appreciated.
good. Shoutouts to all the people that gave the fan questions at Coasted Ferg, CLT Coasters, AJ, and Timmy.
Appreciate you guys.
Shoutouts to Buzz Bars.
Mm.
Because they set up the most. They set up events that just like. they give FOMO more than anything. Like, if you don't, like, they make you want to go to everything, which generally is not really that possible. Like, unless you're a ballin' man, you know, you're going everything. But their events are amazing, and generally, shout outs to them and setting up and making such a welcoming community.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's basically it. We'll catch you guys next time. Otherwise, you know where to find us if you listen on the YouTube. You can also catch us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts at The High Rollers. And if you want to listen on YouTube, we don't have any cameras yet, but in the future we will. So if you want to prepare for that, you can go ahead and subscribe at West Tower on YouTube. And also, if you want to follow our socials on Instagram, you can follow the podcast social, which is the most active one.
Yes.
At The High Rollers DMV. And then you can also follow our coaster ones, where we'll occasionally throw in stories or some pictures we like at West Tower Coasters in RC.
Oh, yeah. At Old Line Airtime.
Yep. Otherwise, catch y'all in the next cast. Who knows what's gonna pop off? Actually, we know. We'll be covering your trip. So
yes, and the news.
And the news. But I'm just gonna be crying and wishing I was there. So you guys gotta catch what happened in Cali with the buzz bars. Peace out.
Peace.
Stay homie.